Everyone thought Mack was just visiting. But as he stepped into his younger brother's mansion and saw the life Peter had built, the beautiful home, the thriving company, the stunning wife, envy swallowed him whole. He became very angry and jealous of his younger brother. He didn't come for love, he came for everything. Mack always felt like a shadow beside Peter. Peter had the charm, the success, and now, the perfect wife. Inside Mack, something snapped. If he couldn't be Peter, he'd take everything that made Peter who he was. That night, Flora served jollof rice and chicken, kissed her husband, and went upstairs for a shower. Mack stared at Peter's plate, then calmly poisoned it. He smiled faintly. Tonight, Peter would die, and no one would ever know. Peter coughed and cried for help. He said, "Help me, my brother." Then choked. His body convulsed violently. Mack just sat there laughing, watching him die. Mack then said to himself, "Yes, everything will be mine now." When he noticed his brother is now lifeless, he pretended to be crying and screamed for help just when Peter's final breath left him, just for show. Flora rushed down in panic. But it was too late. She cried so bitterly. Mack then suggested they should take Peter to a particular hospital because the hospital belongs to his friend. At the hospital, Mack bribed the doctor, his old friend. Then the doctor told Flora her husband died of heart attack. 2 weeks later, Peter was buried. Mack just couldn't wait but inherits his brother's properties. Then just after the burial, Mack took the house, the company, and his younger brother's wife. He has always desired his brother's wife from the first day he saw her. And because of tradition, Flora had no choice than to remarry her brother-in-law. 4 months later, Flora became pregnant for Mack. But she wasn't settled in her spirit. She was worried and felt something wasn't right. She would always see her late husband in her dreams, crying. One night, Mack sat in Peter's mansion, sipping wine like a king. "Now I have it all," he whispered. But one thing still lived in that house. The truth. Flora decided to pack up her late husband's things, then she found an old laptop. Curious, she opened it. A hidden CCTV file. Unknown to her, her husband installed CCTV in the house before he died. So she decided to watch it and then clicked on the date her husband died. And there it was. Mack poisoning Peter's food, then watching him die. If this story has pulled you in so far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning. More real, powerful stories are coming your way. After knowing the truth, she almost screamed, but then she remembered Mack was in the sitting room. She cried so bitterly. She said to herself, "I can't believe I married my husband's killer." She decided to search for more evidence. Her hands shaking, she opened Mack's drawer and found a folded note. A bank transfer of 2 million Nigerian nairas to the same doctor that attended to her husband's case at the hospital. At that moment she almost passed. Flora dropped to her knees. She was carrying the child of her husband's killer. A lot going through her head, but she had to act fast before it's too late. That night, Mack laughed while watching TV. Flora sat beside him, her soul torn in pieces. She had already sent the footage and the transfer note to the police. Moments later, the police arrived at the house and Mack was arrested. Flora stood, her face broken, but her heart ready for justice. As the officers led Mack out, he turned to Flora, confused. And then she said it. "My husband loved you so much that he was going to give you one of his company and 2 houses in Benin. He trusted you with his life." Mack froze. "And in regrets too. Because the night you poisoned my husband was the same night he planned to sign all the necessary documents so you can have those properties." Days later, the doctor who helped cover up Peter's death was arrested. The truth came crashing down. Peter's death would not be buried in silence. Justice had finally found its voice. Flora couldn't help but packed her bags with trembling hands. Then she flew back and to the US where she belonged to start again. Flora being pregnant, with a child, that reminded her of betrayal, blood, and love lost. Before she left, she visited her late husband's grave and whispered to him, "I raised this child with strength. And I never forget you." And now, we want to hear from you. What's your take on Mack's betrayal? Was Flora right to expose him? And most importantly, where in the world are you watching from? Let's talk about it in the comment section.